respond to how do you respond to the Spectre pick as SG? What cores would you be looking at here to deal with Strath of Infinity? UI.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's a lot about what you're comfortable on. Like I personally would trend really hard towards like the Juggernauts and Gyrocopters here, where you need a little bit of team fight to back up your initiate. Maybe not Juggernaut, but like the Gyrocopters. I want to say Luna, but I don't like Luna versus Spectre. But right now they're very single target because they have Axe, Mirana, Oracle. I think right now it's most important to craft like a robust lineup that you feel comfortable playing more than like finding a 1-to-1 carry matchup. It feels like SG, if they get a lead, they should feel like they can control the game no matter what the hero matchups are.
So Wraith King it is. It's quite interesting. You know, there's a lot of ghost pushing potential from Wraith King. Just drop your Skellies. You go into a jungle with your Wraith King, and someone on Infinity would have to deal with that. Nyx, Wyvern, Spectre. These heroes are not good at killing skeletons at all. But it does open up a potential Tidehunter pick from Infinity, which I think is incredibly good this game against Oracle. Whoever you jump as a Tidehunter, you just jump beyond that hero, and then you pop the Ravage, and normally Oracle is in the vicinity, and bam, there you have it.
That's a good call.
Tidehunter.
I think right now, as you said, like Tidehunter's gonna have a really free game, and even with this Wraith King pickup, like SG are still very single target. I think when you end up being single target like that, you're really reliant on winning your lanes. They've sort of shown that they could do that in game one, sort of winning lanes that you don't normally expect, but I don't know like if you want to go into a game like that where you have like very set win conditions.
There's so much pressure put onto you. Like in general, winning lanes is like, it's good, but when your game is reliant on winning games, that is not that good.
Yeah, we could even see that in game one, right? Where Infinity, they're like, okay, our Axe is going to win versus Anti-Mage. He's going to have a fast Vanguard Blink, and we can play around that. And all of a sudden, they just change one factor. They bring the Mirana for one wave, and then they outplay them the rest of the lane, and like all of a sudden their lineup slows down and they can't do anything on the map.
10 seconds remaining.
Last picks here for both Infinity and SG. Infinity looking for a mid laner. Do you think PP can get away with the? I mean, he didn't do that last game, but he did pick it. The Void Spirit yet again, his favorite pick. Or what would we be seeing here?
Like Void Spirit's not enough damage. They Void Spirit. I don't think they can win this game.
10 seconds remaining.
Damage mids right now. Give me a second. Opening up my drafts.
You know, Void
Any thoughts? 1437.
Is Void like what AUI said, Kurt said, like Void Spirit feels a lot like when people used to pick Wind Ranger, right? Just like something mid that isn't gonna like lose a lane hard. It's just gonna run around, like do something or just live. It just feels so lacking. I feel like it's just been nerfed a little too much, and they need something burst. I want to see like I want some oomph. I want like a Lina. Like I know there's an Axe, but you can work around that. Okay, they picked the Puck. That's yeah. I think that's good, right? So now you have like this secondary jump with the Nyx or the Tidehunter on top of the Oracle. Plus you can like, you know, zip around, and none of the heroes on SG side can actually deal with this Puck at the moment. So because their disables are very easy for Puck to deal with. You know, Phase Shift, Axe has a really long animation. Mirana Arrow, you're not going to get hit by that. Wraith King Stun, same thing. And TA, SG banned that out themselves. I think that could have been a nice secondary core for SG. And they go with the Bristle back instead. Oh,
that's a good counter pick to the Puck there. I think if you know the matchup, it wins the lane versus Puck pretty hard.
Yeah.
And like if you look at Infinity's lineup, their lineup is insanely meta, like globally. At ESL 1, like I think Winter Wyvern was a top pick, and Puck was a top pick next to. Their lineup looks very strong, but this Bristleback, it might change how this game is played now. Because they pick Puck to do a little bit more damage, but they might still run out of it.
So, do I take it that you are liking SG's lineup a bit more than Infinity's here?
I mean, personally, I like Infinity's lineup a lot more, but I think how SG played like makes them favored in this game, regardless of the lineup.
Okay.
I think Infinity's lineup is just very smooth to play, but SG might like throw a wrench in it, right? Maybe rotate that Mirana early again and stuff.
SG have more of that early mid game potential here. I think that's really solid on there, especially when they get the Aghanims on Bristleback plus a Hood. Most of Infinity's damage is magical, but when it gets to like really late game, once this puck has a lot of items and you got the Spectre Haunt, I feel it's so much harder for SG supports to play the game, where Infinity supports can, play on the outskirts completely fine. The only thing they got to worry about is a Bristleback running in and gooing them.
Yeah, pretty much if Infinity managed to make it into like the Aghanim's Nyx Assassin, sort of even or only a bit up behind, I think they should be able to take this game at ease. But I think SG won't let them get to that point. I am sort of curious because I think Winter Wyvern is specifically the best hero for Bristleback. So I'm sort of curious to see like how this match will adjust my thinking on that.
All right. So we have SG, who played an incredible game number 1. They are going to game number 2 with a unique draft and a playstyle that might run over Infinity. Infinity, however, going full meta with some comfort picks like Spectre for Berna. We'll see who is going to be able to take this game number 2. They need the win on Infinity if they want to stay in the winner's brackets, but SG is looking a bit too strong to stop. Let's see who can get this matchup in their corner as the casters take it away. Please, AUI2000 and 1437.
Well, thank you, Avo. Actually, AUI, I want to add on to your point you just made. When you said the Winter Wyvern is the best like counter to Bristleback, do you feel like through all the heroes or just in this game?
I think through all the heroes. I feel like you can itemize against the breaks and like play against it.
Okay.
But Winter Wyvern makes it so that like when Bristle walks in, he's very easy to kite because of the Arctic Burn. And the Cold Embrace at the ESL, it was too much healing. And I spammed a lot of mid Bristleback because I thought the hero was OP, and that was like one of the matchups I really didn't like.
Okay, that's very interesting. And it's like every time you go in, you're also facing forward to the... Okay, we got actually a stun from Costabile here into an arrow onto Arzen. There's 4 heroes of Infinity standing on the hill. They're going to back him up here. ADR, he's going to be the next target. Oh, he does not have Bristleback because he is just level. He's going to run into a tower. He's going to die tonight. Does not want to give the first blood to PP, which could have made his lane much more difficult. And Pamplona as well being down there, forcing Costabile to use a Wraithfire Blast onto him. So a little bit more mana spent by that Wraith King as well. So SG making the first move, and they're the ones who get punished.
Yeah, a little bit. Really good read by Infinity though, right? They brought 5 heroes, where SG, they thought they could make this move of 4.
What the rune situation is just going to be 2 for 2. Axe is going to get the top one, and yeah, Infinity, everyone on their team is going to get a little bit more gold. It's like an extra bounty rune essentially with that kill onto the Bristleback. It was a smart move though by ADR to go into the tower and not give one hero all of it.
Ooh, this is one thing that's scary because of that level 1 fight. Arzen on the Tidehunter, he had to TP to bottom, and SG they're ready with the same combo. Yeah, if he dies, this lane is over.
Yeah, Tidehunter will be gone for a long time and have to walk back to lane. And they're looking at Arzen too. Pamplona, he better block this arrow. He's not going to be able to do it, but he gets a nice Ravage onto 3 heroes. Arzen just walking away. Costabile is getting so low. Wait, Costabile, who's going to die first? That's the real question. Costabile going to walk away, going to use a Fairy Fire as well. Nyx Assassin is chasing him. Tidehunter does take the fall, does not have a TP, can't really come back into this lane quickly now. But Pamplona still applying pressure onto Costabile. And he's just the farm in here. Pamplona gonna have to be that position 3 for a little while longer as the Tide makes the walk of shame back to bottom.
They don't have a salve on SG side though, so Nyx is actually going to be the lane here quite competently. So this will be like an interesting lane because whenever you have these over-level supports, it changes the dynamic of the lane a lot.
Dude, we both played this position 4, position 5 roles. That's our favorite thing, isn't it?
It is.
when you get a free lane and your offlaner or carry is like dead for a while.
Yeah,
you just
that's
feel
the
like
best.
You're invincible. Don't tell that to our core players though. They're gonna get mad. Costabile. And that's interesting that KJ didn't actually buy healing salve. I feel like almost every single post 5 starts with a healing salve in the lane.
Yeah, same. I was surprised to see that.
Sexy Yoge gonna skill up our Cold Embrace level 2, so they don't actually have a Splinter Blast. Theo went in with the lead play, thinking that there was probably a Splinter Blast, and just gonna have to back off.
I think that's pretty much the meta on this here. You just, even some 102 builds on Winter Wyvern right now, just out sustain the enemy. It's such an efficient spell.
Yeah, it really is. Incredible. That base heal per second is just so high in the early game. Like a healing salve, essentially.
Yeah, for only 50 mana too. You can just spam it off cooldown.
And bottom lane, Pamplona still doing the same exact thing. Just absolutely bullying these two heroes. It's so funny to watch a position 4 be able to do that. And it doesn't feel like Arsen has lost too much. You know, he's just back down here. He's got good resources. Even though they did get that kill, it's all right. That's what I feel like. They didn't get too much out of the Tidehunter dying.
Yeah, I think he's feeling not too bad too. Costabile in that first play, he had to use like 3 stuns, so they aren't really able to put pressure on him as soon as he comes back.
Yeah, how's mid looking here? You got PP on the puck versus the Bristleback. You said how this is such a one-sided matchup for the Bristol. Do you think he's doing exactly that? 3
Honestly,
minutes in?
I think I misspoke a bit because it can be one-sided, but only if like you're doing clowny stuff on Bristleback because Puck has no armor. You have to do like drag waves like Eternal Envy style, you know. And unfortunately for ADR, like he brought a Salve, but he got hit by the poison though, so that Salve basically didn't heal him at all. And he's the one who's actually getting pressured in this lane now.
Yeah, he is. And his ball is empty too. Maybe we might see Pamplona walking towards the bottom water rune, stopping the Bristleback from being able to get that as PP goes top. I see some lines being drawn on the map right now. Sexy Yoge is calling the Mirana, is walking towards the top rune. Oh yeah, ADR just gonna go for the bounty instead.
A good play from Infinity here. I think the puck communicated that Bristleback was low on his bottom charges, so the Nyx just swings over to take over the bottom water rune. He doesn't get any water runes here.
Very nice play. And so they're making the best out of this situation, right? Of having a Bristleback mid here.
Yeah, for
We'll
sure.
see if there'll be a coil later when he's level 6 and bring some heroes over. But so far, though, all lanes look pretty even. I wouldn't say there's anything... I guess the bottom lane is still quite one-sided as Kosovo has 6-9, but now he's getting so low as I say that. KJ gonna use a purge onto the 2 heroes, slow them down, and again, no healing salve.
Oh, he just
Is there
followed
another
on
one?
Courier.
Okay. He
So
just got
that's game salvaging, because if he didn't have one there,
Yeah.
then Tidehunter would be
That would've been
completely back in this
disastrous.
lane.
Exactly. And top lane, they try to make a dive here as well, and they're going to take so much damage from the level 2 Arctic Burn. Mirana has 1 Tango left. Axe also sitting at a little bit uncomfortable amount of HP.
Puck has so much net worth compared to Bristleback though. He's up 400 net worth. I think a lot of Bristle's CS were just from this small camp, and he's also had to buy more regen.
Exactly. And I also think...
Oh, Puck TP.
he's gonna TP. Yeah, they want to coil this Axe, who is level 4. They might not even need it. Okay, they drop it regardless. Not gonna get burn up the kill. He's gonna take it. That's his. That's the tax, right? That's the Puck TP into your lane tax.
You gotta take the reward when you make the good plays.
Yeah, because he's now gonna have to walk back to the mid lane. Plus, it's like 100 gold TP as well. Man, I hated that change, Curtis, so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it when it started
3
the game with 3
TPs.
TPs.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
nice. Especially if you're playing a roamer, you can always like TP for kills and feel good about it.
Yeah,
I think
it's like now you have to die to get the free TP.
And it can't be to neutrals and stuff too, which I really don't like, because I like if you deny yourself, you don't even feel that good about it. Something I want to mention that SG has been doing is they're constantly using Oracle's Purifying Flames on their range creep and just denying it every single wave. So even though Tidehunter, like normally he would be okay in this lane, even with the start, they're just constantly getting like these range creep denies out of EXP on him.
Yeah, they got 12 denies in total in this bottom lane. 8 from the Wraith King, 5 now from the Oracle. It's really smart moves to keep this Tidehunter down. Like, he's not even level 5 yet, so that feels awful. And that's how you win lanes, right? You win lanes not by killing heroes, but by actually out-CSing your opponent.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that a lot of people don't realize in pubs. Like, they always want to go for the kills, but sometimes if the enemy's not CSing well... Oh, 1 second here. Puck's getting a free kill.
Yeah,
I think something that people don't realize in lanes is that if you're out attritioning your opponent, like, you're putting pressure on them and you're gonna win. And more importantly, like, if you're doing that, they're more likely to mess up and then you get the kill. Because if everything's even, like with these high skill players in these games, you're not gonna just force a mistake and get a kill normally.
Exactly, and you can see right now though, ADR trying to steal this stack. He's gonna get Spike Carapace on the Quill, stun, ADR trying to put his back to these heroes. They're very low on the puck and the Nyx Assassin. Oh, the puck dies! He got too close! Oh no! What a disaster! And then now they're gonna use the Cold Embrace on the side. They have to pop the Haunt as well to get that kill. That Bristleback just made so much space there.
Oh man. And Spectre, he didn't even get to haunt back to the Axe because I think Axe killed the illusion while spinning on the camp. So he has to come as TP. He has no haunt and no TP now. He's vulnerable.
That is insane for the Bristleback.
That was crazy from Bristleback.
Yeah, he took the stack and then he got the kill and brought like the other 3 heroes so low that they had to, use more resources to heal back up and go back to the lane so slowly. That was so much space right there.
By the way, do you know anything about this Tidehunter build? In this lane, he rushed 2 bracers. Is that normal? I haven't seen this at all.
I can't say I did either, but the bracers do kind of give you a lot of damage to be able to kill the skeletons, maybe.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
You also need a little bit of regen on Tidehunter. Usually I see like one bracer hood rush or something, but maybe he's adapting to the skeletons.
Yeah, Burner also getting kind of kicked out of this top lane here a little bit. A lot of the offlaner time now have been favoring that bracer. It just it's like a feels good item, but you need your position 4 to maybe buy some regen for you.
Oh, Nyx went for a Soul Ring too. They're doing some new technology builds.
Yeah, interesting. Some extra HP armor. Anna, Burner trying to hold his top lane as long as he can. It's very abnormal, right, for like a carry to actually stay here like this nowadays and really defend hard. Okay, Mirana gonna get coiled, instantly bursted. No chance to use the Fate's Edict because of that silence from the puck. Very well done there by PP. And Burner getting healed because of that Purifying Flames that was on top of him. Actually working out.
Yeah, I think in this matchup specifically, one of the reasons why Spectre can counter Axe is because you can sort of stand at your tower with the high levels of dispersion. I think a lot of carries, they sort of default to leaving the lane too early versus offlaners, and it removes options for your teams. Like, you can imagine that play where they come up there, and Spectre's already left the lane. Like, they would have taken that tower, and Spectre would just be getting some jungle creeps with no pressure on your opponent. I think what he did there was very good decision making. However, you can't overstretch it, right? Like, if you stay there too long, you die, then all of a sudden it's really bad.
You don't want to be too inefficient as well, because as a carry, you need to be farming at a decent speed, right? And to be able to carry a game. Theo gonna get silenced. He does have 3 leaves available, and there's no coil right now as they used it earlier. KJ gonna be the focus now. They're going on to him. He should take the fall here. Yep, Puck gets a nice arrow after the call, and then the call comes out on Wyvern. So they just trade position 5 for position 5, and I feel like this benefits SG more because ADR is just sitting middle, pounding into this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I think there's one of the things with Bristleback is that even though he has no damage items right now, he hits for 200 damage. He's just gonna hit that tower.
Vendetta, stun. Mana Burn gets him before he could leap away. Oh, that 1 point in Mana Burn actually doing work there, Curtis. That's not a normal build either, right?
I think right now they go 2-1-0 on Nyx, from what I saw. Like at ESL 1.
Oh, really?
They weren't getting Carapace. I didn't understand it either at first, but it just looks like it has good impact. You can go for these extra plays.
Ooh, this is real nice curse here. Onto the Oracle. Gonna get bursted. They're not gonna be able to do too much to ADR though. He has a Vanguard. Level 10. He's gonna use a stick. Gets a little bit more mana. And he's gonna have to back off there. So another free Oracle kill. I feel like Infinity are doing a good job of just like kind of, staying toe to toe.
Yeah, they are. They're really controlling their areas of the map well. Every time it feels like SG, they come a little bit into an area they don't deserve. Like Infinity have done a good job punishing them. And they're even smoking out here. They understand that they spent some TPs. They want to get this Wraith King. I think they have him.
That's a really smart play here. Going towards the bottom side of the map here. Costabil. He does have an arm lane. He can turn that on for a little bit of HP. He doesn't do it. And now he's just going to lose his first life right away. And they're going to coil him up. His team is way too far away, as Curtis just said. They were top, making plays. Don't have TPs to come in and react. ADR going to come out of the moonlight, going on to PP. He feels invincible. So very nice rotation there from Infinity, from top all the way bottom. And what is this line KJ is drawing? It's like, don't go past this area or something?
I think maybe that's what he's saying. Like, the enemy's playing really defensively. Like,
yeah,
if we go into the areas, they're going to kill us. I'm not too sure, though. that's a weird line to draw in a game. I'm not.
Exactly. That's the only thing I made out of that. Is like, okay, he's telling his team don't go here, but now they're gonna smoke up.
Like maybe don't go
They got
here
the blink
without
dagger on
numbers or
Tabo.
something.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Tabo now got the dagger, so we saw this in game number 1 where they finish a dagger, they instantly smoke. They see a Nyx kill. Is that enough though? Oh. Follow up arrow, easy burst. I feel like they wanted more than that.
Though. Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I mean, I guess at least it shows some heroes they're putting some pressure so that Wraith King can pressure top. This is really far to go on Wraith King. They might. Okay, he's back off right away.
Yeah, just a single TP here from Arzen. Gonna go and try to defend this tower. Look at that, one-shotted all those little skelly boys. Oh, feels good.
Okay, so Nyx is drawn the line. He wants to come into the triangle, maybe smoke a hero up with his Vendetta. Yeah, Puck TPing. They might bring Bristle back as well. I'm not too sure, but they want to kill Wraith King again. They kicked him out top, so they know exactly where he is.
And this is only possible to make plays like this because of the sentries that they planted in the safe lane. Like, made sure Infinity, you know, they protected that from SG so that couldn't do anything. And they're trying to make this play before the reincarnations back up again, right?
They're
And
gonna have
in
to
the
blow
meta,
everything here. Do they have
will.
damage?
And it's gonna be worth it. Oh, it's not gonna. Oh, this is gonna be close. Are they hero TPing in? Yeah, there comes the Oracle. No, it's just gonna get bursted. Did he have the armlet on there?
He didn't get armlet or stick off. I felt like if Oracle TP'd right away,
wow.
like maybe they would Ravage and stop the Oracle, but it would have been really close.
Yeah, there was a little bit of hesitation there. I noticed that too. I was like, are they TPing or Burna
on
though? Gonna
Spectre,
get jump here. The goo, TP out. There's no more disables, and he's good.
Oh, that's a beast play there in the middle of 3 heroes. I gotta say though, so I played a lot of Bristleback. I'm a big Vanguard and Hood hater. I don't know how you feel about the items.
I
feel like-
don't think you can buy both.
Yeah, I feel like you're making a hero that's unkillable more unkillable. Without
doesn't
putting
make
pressure.
sense,
Like,
right?
if you have treads, that Spectre's dead, right? So I'm not too sure. It's something I always see though. So like, at some point, like if enough people do it, like I question it more and more. But I never like end up liking it that much.
No, for me, it's very similar to Centaur, right? These guys on Centaur who buy Vanguard and Hood without a purpose
Yeah.
of like running at your opponent and sitting in front of towers, like it just doesn't make sense to me. Buy the dagger, right? Smoke with your team, make a play, and create momentum like that. I would have, like you said, treads would have been good, but I would have been okay with him like rushing and Aghanims as well, because that
Okay.
means he's gonna get that like 2 minutes faster, and that
For
means
sure.
he's gonna be able to team fight 2 minutes faster and slow down like 4 or 5 heroes in fights.
Yeah, I only like the Vanguard Hood, as you said on Centaur. Like I watched one game of Seb where he played it, and he's literally taking tier 2s or like playing super up and taking away farm for his opponent. Because
Oh, Accostable again. One
He has
moment as
reincarnation,
they
though.
jump him. Yeah, this time he does have reincarnation, so this is kind of like a space play here. They do have the haunt available. Sexy Yoga might just need to drop a Winter's Curse and get the hell out of there. Axe calls onto the Nyx. Cold Embrace comes out, just gonna keep him alive a little bit longer. Sexy Yoga, he's gonna be the next target. ADR, goos him up. Sexy Yoga playing around that ward on his hill. He wants to curse KJ, but there's no one beside him. So the arrow lands, kills him off. They're gonna get the D ward to kick out Infinity from the bottom jungle. You know, it was a good idea to kill the Wraith King before, but now the reincarnation is back up. A little bit more awkward.
yeah, it's a pretty far engagement to go into. A good punish by SG though. They recognize that they're overextended and they can sort of punish them there.
The prize is mine.
Yeah, and what were you saying about Oh, hold on. This is gonna be another play. Tavo gonna get instantly ravaged as he walks into a creep wave. They use the haunt as well. Coil's still up if they need to, but they won't need that. They already dropped 2 big ultis onto that axe. And I feel like this gives an opening for SG as soon as that axe is alive to go make a play now, Curtis.
Yeah, for sure. I think Infinity, since they use all their big spells, Haunt, Ravage, just for a pick-off, they really need to think about pushing all the lanes in so that when SG respawn on the Axe, they can't like run at you instantly. I'm not too sure they're going to be able to do that. 40R, he's just sort of standing in front and pushing in this mid-wave really well, and Thelicor, he's on same on top side.
Yeah, and
I think
adding on to your point of like pushing lanes out, when the axe is dead, you shouldn't feel scared of anything, right? They don't have any
Yeah.
other catch.
I think you should at least poke them, right? Like, you don't need to kill this Bristleback, but you need to make it so that SG feel like they are down the hero. I feel like that they got that pick off, and all of a sudden they all ran away from this bottom area, which they have control of.
Yeah.
They didn't push it into the tower at all, and it actually spawns, and
Exactly.
nothing really happened to that. SG actually ended up gaining 1,000 gold, like during the axe pickoff, which doesn't really make sense.
Top tower is under
I
attack.
would have to completely agree with you. I mean, you killed the big playmaking guy. You should be very up in your enemy's face, pushing lanes out, cutting waves. Like, Puck could have literally ran from bottom towards the mid lane and cut a wave there. And they're going to go straight into a Roshan pit as the Tide Ravage and the Spectre Haunt are on cooldown. So this is the play that they're going to do to punish Infinity's kill on Axe bottom.
And I really like this read from Costa Bile. Like, he goes for the Desolator, he sees the opportunity, just gets Desolator, instantly gets Roshan. That's when this item, like, it makes this item worth it. Also, if you look at the heroes on Infinity, I think Desolator is a lot better than having some sustained Radiance damage for something like a Spectre and Tidehunter. You really want the Wraith King to be able to, like, burst heroes in this game and right-click them.
Right, I like the idea of, like, you get the call onto the Tide, he can't really remove it with his Kraken Shell, and then that gives the opportunity for Wraith King to just kill him, right, during the call duration.
They actually do have damage to kill him, just because Bristleback does so much physical as well. You're amping up your teammate.
Exactly. And I would, I guess, make the one counterpoint of Winter Wyvern, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a
and
good
the
point.
Cold Embrace.
That is a bit scary. The Desolator... So, in most games, I think it's like more risky to play this, but I think SG, they're really good at identifying what their line of strengths are, right? We talked about it in the draft, but it feels a little bit, if they get to late game, Infinity's lineup looks really easy to play against the SG heroes. So maybe they're looking to just end the game with this Desolator pickup and this Aegis.
Yeah. And that's what they're doing right now, playing very aggro in the top side of the map, while Infinity got Burna split pushing bottom. They find the Tidehunter now. Look at that burst damage. Oh my goodness, the crit. They're actually going to pop the Haunt and the Ravage for this. Who are they going on to? KJ. KJ are going to use the False Promise on himself. And now Infinity, they are on the offensive. Puck coming in, has a coil available. Doesn't want to use it on ADR. He wants to find KJ. Spectre in the back, going to get called. Costabile with his Desolator, pounding onto him. Now comes the coil. Axe probably going to be the main target as the reincarnation is still available. KJ going to fall in the back thanks to PP. Nice Winter's Curse onto the Axe. Going to remove his life. Sexy Oge going to be deleted by ADR, who's pretty much untouchable, just running in with the goo. PP now looking to escape. Costabile don't think he's going to be able to get a stun onto PP here as he TPs out. So they had a very clear plan on Infinity. Ravage, go after the Oracle. You know, if you can't kill him, PP, hopefully he can find him and kill him after the False Promise comes out, and they're just going to look to ignore the Bristleback completely.
Honestly, I'm shocked that Infinity executed a fight so well, because even though they couldn't burn... Oh, top lane, 1 second. Puck's poking this Mirana.
Deal? Yeah,
Probably
he's
doesn't
got the
have enough
Witchblade.
damage for him.
Nah, there's no coil.
Yeah.
You can just leap away if need be.
Even though they couldn't burst the Oracle on the Ravage and the Haunt, they didn't panic. They still, like, took their fights.
Yeah.
They played the long fight. They understood, like, this Winter Wyvern heal, it's just gonna out-sustain SG's lineup in the fights. And you're completely right about the Desolator. One thing we didn't mention, too, is that because of the Desolator, he ended up killing his Axe a lot faster, too, than Curse. And they just couldn't play against the Winter Wyvern at all.
Yeah, and that's where, like, you wish you had a Radiance to be just burning through these Infinity heroes that are constantly chasing you, providing the evasion as well. You know, Spectre has that Manta style. I know that Desolate can go through it, but if there's another hero, it's going to be very important. And also, Curtis, the Bristleback did not have Ags in that last fight. I feel like Infinity can't run past this Bristol if he had Aghanim's.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
So it goes
for
back
sure.
to the first point of, like, buying Vanguard and a Hood and having this Ags be delayed.
In Infinity, even though they're down 2k gold, I think how they're playing this game just looks completely different from last game. Or maybe it's like just how they've sort of shut down SG's ability to play the same way they did last game. They picked up Aegis and Desolator, but this is the first tower they're hitting almost 4 minutes after they picked up the Aegis. They're now only hitting a tier 2.
Yeah, and there's only 1 minute left on this Aegis now. Tidehunter, he's going to be gone on. There is a Ravage available. Sexy Yoga, he TPs in. He's going to use the Cold Embrace onto the Tide. They're going to buy a little bit more time here. Spectre has TP back to the base to get some mana so he can pop the Haunt. Arzen, oh no! Whoa, they stacked the spells. Winter's Curse plus the Ravage together. That is not what they wanted, but they actually end up killing the Wraith King. He actually ran out of mana. Because the Diffusal Blade plus the Mana Bird, he did not expect that. And now Bristleback all on his own. Oh, he's looking super dead. His team has already abandoned him because that is an awful fight to take.
Oh, a little bit of desperation coming up for SG. Maybe a little bit of the nerves that you guys were talking about during their DPC season. But
Hold on, that was a fresh diffuser, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. They didn't know about it. He's really farming the Spectre. He's 13k. He got diffuser before that fight, and now he's at. This is a fat Spectre. 2k above your carry. That's terrifying.
He's gigantic right now. I mean, they're doing everything correctly. Like, he was out of mana. He didn't show the diffuser. TP back, got the haunt. They even stacked their spells there, and they still came out ahead, killing the position 1 and 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And there it is. They're going to run back in there. They know the Ravage is on cooldown. Spectre Haunt's on cooldown too. SG, they need to get something done right now before those big team fight spells are back up again. And they are going to get the Tidehunter, but what more can they get after that?
You know, something I like to think about is like, so I like to ask some of my co-casters this, like, where's the worst place to take a fight on the map, right? Like for Radiant.
Yeah.
And I always tell them that the worst place to take a fight is in the enemy fountain, right? Because obviously.
Okay.
And the second worst is going to be at the enemy tier 4s. But if you think about it like that, where the further you are to your enemy's base, generally, like in theory, it's a worse fight. In this fight, they're diving past the tier 2, and it leads to a fight that even though, as you mentioned, they stacked out their spells, like the conditions for the fight were just so hard that they end up losing the fight anyways.
Yeah, it's like SG are not really giving that much credit and respect to the Winter Wyvern in this game.
Yeah, he's
Like, they jumped the Tide, but they exactly, like, they just used the Cold Embrace, and now you have these two tanky cores just stuck with each other, watching this hero being healed up for like, what's he healing for, like 600, 700 HP on the Tide?
I think it's all their HP, I believe, with Holy Locket.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot. Mirana gonna get caught out with the silence. Doesn't have any way to remove it. Guardian Grief's not quite yet up, and that's another kill that SG bleed away in this game.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised Winter, he didn't even take his level 10 talent yet. He opted to get an extra level of Splinter Bats early, and then realized that Code Embrace was more important later. But as soon as that comes out, I think if you Holy Locket someone and Code Embrace them, I legitimately think it's their full HP pool. It looks so strong at ESL.
ADR all on his own right here, so lots of Desolate plus Diffusal Blade burning the mana. They're going to jump the Oracle. That's the real targeted. They're also going to pop the Haunt, and now going on to Bristleback. He is super dead thanks to the Spike Carapace into the Impale, just locking him down, and they get 2 more kills after that Mirana died, and it looks like Infinity are taking huge control of this game. They didn't even need to use a Ravage there, so the Haunt was spent. Probably wasn't even necessary, but the amount of map control and the kills that they got, they're going to be happy with that.
Yeah, my goodness. They're just looking like a completely different team this game. They're playing really fast, aggressive, and I want to mention this Blade Mail pickup on Spectre. When the Bristleback was facing their back to them, they just hit him through it, and Burner, he popped the Blade Mail, and then he's doing Blade Mail damage and dispersion damage to the axe, to the Bristleback, and they just end up killing him through that. Like, how often do you see it? Like, this is a very farm Bristleback still, honestly, but at 25 minutes, he went Hood, Vanguard, even Eternal Shroud, Vanguard Eggs, and he's just dying to right clicks. Like, in front of his tier 2.
That's the problem too, is that SG are just not like grouped up together in these scenarios as well. I feel like this Bristleback and Medusa heroes, they're strong when they got everybody next to them and cover firing, right? When they're getting gone on. But in this situation, there's just nobody there. They feel like this was already a lost fight. Plus, PP did exactly the correct move of jumping the Oracle as soon as he was exposed under the ward, trying to come in to help the Bristleback.
Yeah, to be honest, it's starting to feel a little bit desperate for SG. I think they have a little bit of a comeback potential here. Axe almost has his shard. He already has a Manta finished up. They should look to take a fight where they can like maybe have Oracle picked up by Haunt and have him buy back into the fight at TPN. If they can like achieve some conditions like that, you burst someone on this call Axe with Manta style through the Wyvern Kill even still, like maybe they can still come back. But even though it's 1k go down, like this game's looking really good for Infinity.
It is, and the fight conditions for SG is just so difficult, like to succeed in winning an engagement. Look at this Puck right now. He's 7-1-9. I don't feel like he's come close to dying once.
Yeah, no, he's
like
just
watching all
he's
this
just playing freely, right? Like anything he wants to happen in a fight, he's not under any threat. Like it's only one Axe call, and honestly, it's not even the easiest spell to hit Puck with.
Right, and Tavo is just feeling forced to jump as soon as his Oracle gets exposed, or they go on the Mirana, so he can't even save his spells for the puck. Plus, you're dealing with the Haunt that's constantly breaking his blink as well. It's just a hard game overall for SG to deal with this puck. I just got to go back to that pick. I think it was just perfect.
Yeah, it's a very good pick. It did a lot of what they needed. It gave them lane shove, it gave them some burst in team fights, and it gave them like some lockdown too, right? Because you don't want to have to like initiate with a Ravage or like a Winter Curse. You want something casual so that you can chain your big team fight spells into like some multi-target hitting, like hits.
And you have a lot of time when you drop the coil to let the fight develop, right? See what SG want to do, try to expose the Oracle so that the Tidehunter can go in with that big Ravage. We haven't really been seeing that fight as of right now because SG have been playing aggressively, but we will probably see it in the next minutes here. As smoke comes out from SG, they're tired. They're gonna go on to the Winter Wyvern, get the call. That's a perfect hero that SG needed to get here. Is there a buyback? There is no buyback available. So they're gonna pop the Ravage here. Nick's gonna be burrowed in here, and they're gonna get the Oracle kill on the back with PP. Pamplona just getting hit by ADR and Kostavio. Gonna use the Spike Carapace, but his HP is quite low. Spectre also in the middle of all of this. Going on to Tavo, he's getting bursted. There's so much minus armor on top of him. Now he's going to use the Spectre Dagger, get out. Axe is going to take a fall to PP. Once again, the hero that is pretty much unkillable because they can't seem to stun him. Kostavio, ADR, they want to follow the puck. Oh, wait, hold on. He messed up his blink. And now he's going to get stunned. Oh, no. He didn't jump to his orb. And then he blinks right beside the Wraith King, gets stunned up and dies. I might have just cursed him.
Yeah, just a huge mistake coming out from Infinity. And you can sort of see, like, Infinity, they're playing really well this game, but there's a little bit of difference in experience, it feels like, between these two teams. Oh, 1 second, that's still going
wait, hold on, Arzen, what is he doing? Okay, he blinks forward, exposes the Mirana, they get the Haunt, they're going in, trying to help out Arzen here. Burna though. Nope, the reincarnation does pop. He does have the agony shard regardless, so it doesn't matter if he burns his mana. And now they're gonna use the Manta Split onto Kostavio. KJ is alive in this fight, so gonna drop the false promise. And now they're going onto the backline with ADR. Sexy Yoga is in a lot of trouble. He does have a curse available plus the Cold Embrace. Gonna use that on himself right now. And Nyx Assassin also being zoned out by this Bristleback. He doesn't have any more mana. The Mana Burn plus the Diffuser Blade doing a lot of work, so they're actually gonna keep Sexy Yoga alive and back off there. So the Haunt is the only spell that they use. Infinity actually managed to hold this Roshan down.
That was an incredibly high level of trust from Tidehunter right there, right? He jumps in alone knowing that eventually Winter Wyvern is going to TP in, because he wasn't even alive when he jumped in to save him there. That's a crazy play, and it really worked out. You can see the Code Embrace, I think it healed Tidehunter 2000 HP or something. There's some crazy spell there.
Yep, ADR. Burna look to burn some mana of the Bristleback here. Tidehunter gonna blink forward. Oh, they found the Mirana kill. KJ was not close enough to help him out. And now they get the coil onto the 2 cores. Buyback from Mirana. Wraith King is the target. Does have the reincarnation up. And Puck in the backline. Gonna get Berserker called and die. And here comes the curse onto Wraith King. Doesn't have reincarnation. KJ trying to keep these heroes alive, but they're lacking the damage up on it. Oh, big stun there from the Nyx Assassin onto 2 heroes. Wraith King is dead. The Ravage is gonna be up now. Are they gonna drop it? Nyx Assassin gonna take a fall too. ADR so strong with all those Warpath stacks. Here comes the Ravage. Now the Axe is gonna be the main target. Gonna take a fall. Burna very low, but ADR gonna be able to deal with him. Winter Wyvern buying back, has a Cold Embrace ready. Nope, not gonna get it onto the Tidehunter, so he's dead. ADR looking for the next target now on this Bristleback. This is what you call Bristol boss. Running on in. Sexy Yoga, he's trying to kite them. Oh, and his Arctic Burn gonna end. They don't see him. Tavo though blinks forward. Does have a Battle Hunger ready. Gonna slow him down. And yep, Bristol boss coming in. Gonna slap this guy up. Okay, Cold Embrace buying some time. 20 seconds on the Puck. 10 seconds on the Nyx. And just gonna delete this Winter Wyvern who just bought out. And that looks like a pretty free Roshan for SG there. What a fight, Curtis. Can you tell us exactly what went down?
Honestly, I can't believe SG are out team fighting the lineup from Infinity. I think a little bit, as mentioned before the fight, but a little bit of inexperience it feels like coming out from Infinity. Going all the way back to where the first initial fight started, where they sort of wiped SG. We saw they smoked up on SG, right? And they placed a ward on the high ground. And we saw Wyvern sort of stand beside that ward and try to de-ward it. I think a more experienced team would have like sort of backed off and understood that the reason why they're smoked is because they think that they can take a fight. So maybe instead of dewarding this like ward on our most valuable hero, let's just reset a bit and let it come in. And you just saw SG abuse that during the fight. They just constantly got these clutch pickoffs. Like Axe solo killed the puck, I think. Like how often does that happen? But they found their conditions and now they secured the Roshan.
It's like in the previous fights, PP was so patient, waiting for the Axe to jump first, but this time he went in with the initiation, and that kind of exposed his positioning and allowed Tavo to go in and find the puck. So they need to remember why they have been winning these engagements to begin with.
Also, I feel like it's not as objective based, right? There might be a little fight here, but they got the wipe, and they're taking like a fight without Ravage and Haunt ready. When like their objective should just be to like control the area for Roshan, because they should understand that's their win condition.
They might have just felt a little too overconfident as the Wraith King died, but this Bristleback, I feel like he's the main carry at the moment. Like so much minus armor from the Goose, and he's also staying on top of his teammates so that the Desolate doesn't do too much damage to them.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job frontlining for his team. He's like forming a wall without getting cursed to his teammates too, right? It's just really good positioning from him. I think the other thing that is sort of lacking on the Infinity side is that they don't have any heroes that can sort of build a Spirit Vessel for this Bristleback. So he's sort of free to run around with his Internal Shroud and lifesteal a lot. I don't really think anyone can get one either in this game.
Yeah, they cannot. And it's really hard against the Oracle too, right? You got the Fortune's End that's just gonna instantly dispel that. It's like you look at the draft, you're like, there's no way I'm buying a Vessel in this game.
That is true. We do have the Skadi coming out for Spectre. So if they do create a condition where they can like sort of burst the Oracle on Haunt, maybe they can slow him down Skadi and reduce that HP regen and kill him, but you can see SG, they're aware of it. They have the Potamulti, the Greaves, and the Ghost Scepter on the Oracle to protect himself.
Yep, that's perfect itemization right now from KJ. Maybe a Glimmer Cape would be something nice for him too. But I love the Skadi pickup. I mean, I know it's a core item on Spectre, but in this meta of so much healing and stuff involved, it's just been such a must-buy for almost every single carry. Even Wraith Kings buy Skadi in a lot of games. I wouldn't be surprised if Costabia bought it because of the Wyvern effect.
It would be a good pickup for sure. And both carries are actually going for silver edges. So Spectre wants the silver edge versus the Bristleback, and Wraith King wants the silver edge versus the Tidehunter and Spectre.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one, right? Where you get the break onto the Tide, you stun him, and just try to burst him. Plus the Invis factor. Like, Wraith King Silver Edge is just so much better, though, because he's got that stun available. And, like, he can actually utilize the Invis effect.
So right now,
calm here.
Infinity, they do have all their spells up. But I'm not too sure how their mentality is right now, right? Because they should have felt like they were in control of this game. And then they just lost this long team fight to the Bristle boss, just sort of outplaying them and kiting them. And now they're just stuck in base, you know? They're not feeling like they can get anyone out on the map and sort of put some lane pressure, force an uneven engagement. They're just... I think they're not sure what they want to do right now.
Yeah, they're just kind of waiting out the ages at this point. You got like a minute and a half left. Infinity, you know, it's the most basic decision that you can make, right? In this situation, when you don't know what's going on and the enemy has ages. Just like, okay, guys, let's just chill, split push where we can. PP has done a good job with his Boots of Travels, keeping the lanes out. Maybe Tavo, like, he might want to continue to play off the map, and that's why PP has decided to make his way back to the base. It's so hard against this ADR Bristol Balls. Like, he's just sitting right in front of their base, and you can't just get past this hero.
Yeah, Costabile, if you notice there, he made a really cool play where he TP'd to the bottom tier 3, he summoned skeletons, but he didn't show himself on the map at all. So Infinity, they still have to sort of play scared. And there's a Nyx with a gem. He's just sort of running around. He's going to get spotted out by Oracle here.
Oh, sees KJ.
Wait,
but they don't have... They have a Tidehunter here. Are they going to try something? No, they're not. Okay. Yeah, Smoke Pop. No dust was used, and Pamplona is going to be able to get out of there. It looks like there wasn't enough Skelly summon bottom, though, so that lane is still in front of SG's base. And now they're going to TP all the way top. They're like, guys, we just exposed ourselves bottom. Let's TP to a top outpost. Someone is going to split push here, and we're going to catch him. But Infinity, they know what's going on. they understand how fast SG is playing, and they're not gonna fall for that trap. I feel like a even more inexperienced team would have definitely had someone up there dying.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to be because of Pamploma's good scouting, right? He managed to stay around Invis, get a good ward down, and they realized, oh, they're still not showing on the map. Bottom lane isn't being pushed out, even though it's in front of their tier 3.
Man, I'm just looking at these heroes and I'm thinking like, this Spectre has 3.5k HP. If there's a cold embrace on that Spectre, like you don't even want to touch her. Like, unless you kill the Winter Wyvern, you actually can't go on this carry hero. It's just ridiculous.
Sure. If you do 3k damage to Spectre and then she gets healed up, just the dispersion alone is going to kill your entire team.
Yeah. So Spectre, as long as the Wyvern's behind, he can do whatever he wants. And SG, you know, with his Aegis, they were able to control the map a little bit. Only got about, I want to say, what, 3,000 gold during that time, more than Infinity did. So not able to accomplish too much. I'm having a hard time finding any like potential items that could be game changing for SG, apart from like Infinity just walking out, taking an unfavorable fight.
Yeah, it is a bit hard to see the win conditions in this game because this game has gotten really messy. I think both teams, the game is like in a state that doesn't feel that comfortable, even though SG are up 8k gold. I was thinking, like, because Tidehunter, before he had Refresher queued up, he switched it to Ashivas, which I really like. Normally, I think that Refresher Tide is almost like auto-win in the late game, but somehow SG, they have the heroes that are specifically good versus that, right? In the Wraith King and Bristleback.
Right. Completely agree with that. And the Shivas is going to have so much effect, especially with that passive ability that they Whoa, hold on, they kill him! ADR, I thought he was just going to... What? Okay, well, Pamplona, you know, he gets a Spike Carapace into a stun. They even drop the Ravage, so he cannot use the cheese. But because they use the Ravage, it looks like SG want to fight. They buy back onto the Bristleback Costabile, able to catch out the Winter Wyvern, stun into Arrow. But the Winter Wyvern has a buyback. And this, I feel like, is going to be really awkward for SG now because they use the buyback on the Bristol. They need to get something done, but at the same time, they can't afford him to die.
We're going to Spectre. Oh
Spectre,
my god.
Called. Oh, wow. What is that burst damage? While the Winter Wyvern was dead, he bought out, TP'd in, but died in that call duration. That pure damage from the Manta split of the Axe, plus the two other cores pounding into the Spectre. Spectre has no buyback. ADR, not out of mana, but does have that cheese available. They're going to need to defend with just 4 heroes. They get the top rack so quickly. Look at this Bristleback's damage. 650.
Classic Bristleback hero. Has no damage items hitting. Oh, gets stunned up. They have nothing for him. The Spectre's dead.
Yeah, but the Oracle is alive and right behind them too this time around. So the False Promise will be dropped onto ADR if needed. Pamplona gonna burrow now. Just start spamming that mana burn. Arrowed. So gonna be a little bit delayed on that mana burn, but they're not gonna be able to jump the Nyx Assassin. He is a little too tanky there. And this time around, if ADR does run out of mana, he does not have the cheese available. They can get Megas though, because the tier 2 tower bottom is still alive. So Infinity are going to be able to hold at least the bottom part of their base here, as SG go back into the top jungle, ready to control Roshan once again.
I'm surprised they're not just backdooring that tier 2 bottom though. I mean, they wouldn't be able to get racks, but it's like a nice objective to take, so that there's like pressure where if mid pushes in, you can just go straight to bottom. They definitely have the damage for it, but I think they've decided that just control of this Roshan area is more valuable than this one tower.
Exactly. It could have been already alive too, and you want to get that Roshan before the Spectre is alive. As you see Infinity, they don't know if the Rosh is up, so they're going out to make a play before Spectre is alive, and there it is, the Haunt onto Costabile. He's going to lose his first life. KJ in the back is moonlighted, so they don't actually see him on Infinity, and Winter Wyvern getting jumped by Tabo. He makes the best possible play there. Now Pamplona getting pounded. Even though he is burrowed, does not matter. KJ in the backline gonna get killed out by the puck, gonna buy back. Nyx also buying back here. The fight's getting a little bit messy here, but the Bristleback, you know, is zoning off the Spectre. As the Spectre gets good, now gonna turn onto the Bristol here. Bristol getting very low. Arzen also gonna take a lot of damage, walking away. Oracle dying for the second time now, but the Spectre gonna take a fall from the Axe Call, plus the Wraith King pounding into her. Oh no, ADR doesn't have buyback, but it's gonna kill off the Tidehunter first before he takes a fall himself. 3 heroes alive on SG. Puck the only one up on the side of Infinity, and they're looking to just push it. I don't think the Puck is gonna be able to hold off these 2 tanky boys on his own. They're going straight for the tier 4s. No point to go for the Roshan here, as 4 of Infinity Zeros are dead with no buybacks available.
Yeah,
PP, he's looking to buy a Rapier though.
Oh, that's cool.
Does he have enough money?
What's he
Oh, he
gonna
doesn't
sell
know what
for?
to sell. He's gonna sell the Boots of Travels?
You definitely sell Travels here. Like, you're going all
No.
in.
Okay, he got the Rapier money. He
sold
keeps the Boots of
Witchblade.
Travels. Yep. And he's gonna go in. Does have that phase shift attack talent, but that's not gonna be enough. BKB, Wraith King Pop does have their reincarnation available too, and they're just gonna end the game by killing the throne. SG, they pull out the win. 2-0 Infinity. I feel like they did so much in this game. They team fought very well, but at the end of the day, these tanky boys are just way too much to deal with.
Yeah, I think SG, they, even in this game, like, I think they had sort of a hard lineup to execute, but they just played the team fights well enough. They sort of baited Infinity in a lot of fights into like a false sense of security, and they were able to clutch it out. We saw in that last fight, like, Cavill was just able to find that perfect pickoff, right? Find that Wyvern without buyback and solo kill him, and it just completely turns the fight.
Yeah, and SG in this late game, they were really using their experience, finding the proper targets. Like I said, Tavo jumping the Winter Wyvern. I feel like that's what kind of made Infinity's game really hard, or the team fights really hard. But there's that concept of SG constantly running at Infinity, right? The team that's making the aggressive play, constantly running at your opponent, has that significant advantage in terms of team fighting. Also, the buybacks, controlling the outpost. SG just played a phenomenal game here. But we're going to go to a short break right now, and we'll be back here with the panel soon.